we are going to start with a new chapter, that is Elements, Compounds and Mixtures for class 8th. Matter is classified into two categories. They are pure substances and impure substances. Which we can also call it as mixtures. In pure substances, we have elements and compounds. And in pure substances, that is in mixtures, we have homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Study pure substance. Pure substance is made up of only one type of atom or molecule. Pure substance is uniform and it is homogeneous. The physical and chemical properties of the substance remains the same, irrespective of from where it is existing from. Let's just take an example, that is water. Okay, the pure water that is available at home as well as the water that we use in the laboratory. The physical and chemical property will remain same. Now, let us study the characteristics of pure substances. First one, pure substance has the uniform composition. Or as pure substance has definite composition. So because of that, it can be represented by chemical formula. Suppose in this, if we want to take an example of water. Now water is given the formula that H2O, that is 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. So here the formula of water will not be changed. Okay? So it is going to have the definite composition. Same way if we talk about the gases like H2, okay? It is going to have the same formula, that is 2 atoms of hydrogen. The second characteristic is pure substance has specific melting and boiling point. Third one, pure substance has characteristic smell, color or taste. So we can write pure substance has characteristic smell, taste or color. Fourth one, pure substance has uniform composition, that is, it is homogeneous. Okay? So pure substance has uniform composition. Pure substance has fixed chemical properties. Pure substance has fixed chemical properties. And sixth one, pure substance cannot be separated by physical method. So only by chemical method the pure substance can be separated. So in this separation of pure substance by chemical method, the amount of energy is required. Okay, so you can write pure substance can only be separated by chemical method. So these are the 6 characteristics of pure substances which you have to study. As we have studied, pure substance is classified into elements and compounds. Now let us study what do you mean by element. Element is a pure substance that cannot be broken down into simpler substances by any physical or chemical means. These elements may exist as monoatomic, elements, diatomic elements, triatomic elements, or polyatomic elements. Now what do you mean by diatomic elements? The elements which is contain only one atom in a molecule, which we call it as monoatomic. So in this we can take an example like sodium, magnesium, then helium. These elements, the formula will be represented as its symbol itself. For diatomic element is the element which is containing 2 atoms in a molecule. So for this we can take an example O2, N2, H2, Cl2. Okay. Triatomic elements are the elements which is containing 3 atoms in a molecule. So here we can take O3, that is ozone. For polyatomic elements, the elements which is containing more than 3 atoms. So here we can take phosphorus, that is P4. We can take sulfur, that is acid, as an example. There are 118 elements which are known till date. The elements that are arranged in the table, we call it as periodic table. So here in this periodic table, you should know 1 to 20 elements. First is hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium and calcium. The elements which are placed to the left hand side, we call them as metals, and the elements which are placed to the right hand side, they are considered to be non-metals. So in between you have the metalloids. So here we can say boron is a metalloid, silicon is a metalloid, arsenic is a metalloid, then you have antimony, these are the metalloids. So elements are classified into metal, non-metal and metalloids. Okay. Now what do you mean by metal? Metal is an element which is having tendency to lose electron, or as you can say, metal is an element which is having tendency to donate electron. So you can write lose electron or donate electrons. Now what example I can give in matter? Let us consider sodium. Now we all know sodium is having atomic number 11. So what would be the electronic configuration of it? 2, 8, 1. So it is having only one electron in the outermost shell. So losing one electron becomes easy. Then gaining 7 electrons. So sodium is losing this one electron and thereby it forms Na plus ion. So because it is having only one electron in the outermost shell, it can easily able to lose the electron or it can easily able to donate the electron. So we call it as matter. Non-metal. Non-metal is an element which is having tendency to gain electron, or else non-metal is an element which is having tendency to accept electron. So gain electron, or you can say accept electrons. So in this, let's take an example, oxygen. Now you all know oxygen is having atomic number, correct, 8. So what would be the electronic configuration? 2, 6. So it is having 6 electrons in the outermost shell. As we have studied previously, when we are talking about metal, in the outermost shell when you have 1 electron, 2 electron or 3 electron, it can easily able to donate the electron. But if you have more than 3, that is 4, 5, 6, 7, in that case, will not take 4. 5, 6 and 7, in that case, it will try to accept the electron. Okay. So here, since oxygen is having 6 electrons in the outermost shell, it can able to accept 2 more electrons. Okay. So therefore, we consider it as non-metal. Third one is metalloid. Now what do you mean by metalloid? Metalloids are the elements which is having the properties of both metal as well as non-metal. So in metalloid, we can take an example, boron, then silicon, germanium, okay, antimony. So these are some of the examples of metalloids. The distinguishing point between metals and non-metals. First one, metals are usually solid at room temperature. Exception is mercury, which is existing in liquid state. For non-metals are solid, liquid or gases at room temperature. Room temperature. Second one, they are hard. Okay, they are hard. Metals are hard. Exception is sodium and potassium. Over here, non-metal, they are soft. Non-metals are soft. Metals have high melting and boiling point. So metals have high melting and boiling point, whereas non-metals have low melting and boiling point. Metals are sonorous. Now what do I mean by sonorous? Sonorous is producing sound when they are struck. Okay. So you can see metals are sonorous. Non-metals are non-sonorous. Very important one. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity, wherein non-metals are bad conductor of heat and electricity. Metals are malleable. Now what do you mean by malleability? Malleability is a property wherein they can be drawn or they can be beaten into thin sheets. Sixth one is metals are malleable. Now what do you mean by this malleable? Malleability is a property wherein the metals can be beaten into thin sheets. So you can write metals are malleable, non-metals are non-malleable. Next one, metals are ductile. Now what do you mean by ductility? Ductility is a property in which it can be drawn into thin wires. So you can write metals are ductile and non-metals are non-ductile. So here we have studied the distinguishing point between metals and non-metals. Compounds are the pure substance that are formed when two or more elements combine chemically in a fixed proportion. Okay, the atoms in the molecule of a compound are held by chemical bond. So already we have studied about the chemical bond. So here we have two types of bond, electrovalent and covalent. So in this we can take an example: water, sodium chloride, then sodium carbonate, and so on. Now if we talk about water, this compound is having different properties. It is having the unique properties then compared to its constituent element, which are showing the different properties. If we take water as an example, water is a distinct liquid state and it helps in extinguishing fire. Similarly, if we talk about hydrogen gas, then it is a combustible gas. And oxygen is a supporter of combustion. Similarly, if we talk about sodium chloride, that is common soil. Now this common soil is having different property. It is having unique property than compared to its constituent elements. So these constituent elements are also going to show different properties. So if we talk about sodium, sodium is a soft metal which is stored in kerosene. And if you talk about chlorine, then chlorine is a greenish, yellowish green gas. Now let us study mixtures. Mixtures are formed when two or more pure substances, they are elements, compounds or both, are mixed physically, in which pure substance can retain their individual properties. Mixtures are formed when two or more pure substances, they are elements, compounds, or both, are mixed physically in which pure substance can retain their individual properties. One more example, that is salt and sugar. At the same time, sugar and sand. Okay, these are some of the examples which come under mixtures. Now let us study the characteristics of mixture. The first one, mixtures does not have a definite composition. That means you can take any proportion in order to form a mixture. Second one, mixture does not have specific melting and boiling point. Third, mixture does not have a characteristic smell, color or taste. Fourth one, components of a mixture can be separated by physical method. That is, if we talk about salt solution, then with the evaporation method, that is the physical method, we can able to separate salt as well as water. Okay, that means water will be evaporated and what you are going to remain with the salt. So here, less amount of energy is required, or you can say no energy is required. The mixtures may be homogeneous or heterogeneous. Or homogeneous means which forms a uniform composition, and here heterogeneous, it forms non-uniform composition. So here we have studied about the mixtures and we have studied the characteristics of mixtures. Now let us study the distinguishing point between pure substances and impure substances, which we also call it as mixture. First one, they are either an element or compound. In impure substances, they are the combination of elements or compounds or both. They are always homogeneous. In this, they can be homogeneous or heterogeneous. Pure substance can be represented by chemical formula. In impure substance, they cannot be represented by chemical formula. Of pure substance involves energy. In this, formation does not involve energy. Formation of impure substance does not involve energy. Pure substance can only be separated by chemical method. Impure substance can be separated by physical method. You can also see here in pure substance they have the uniform composition, but in impure substance they do not have uniform composition. So these are some of the distinguishing points between pure substance and impure substances. Formation of mixture. Different substances in different state form a mixture. Okay. So in this, the first type we have solid-solid mixture. In this, we can take an example, that is small stone found in rice grains. Okay, that is solid-solid mixture. Second one is solid-liquid mixture. That is salt. Okay, if we make a salt solution, salt that is added in water. So that is solid-liquid mixture. Third one is solid gas mixture. We can take an example, smoke, okay, which is consisting of different gases and the dust particles that are suspended. Fourth one is liquid mixture. We can take kerosene and water, that forms liquid mixture. Fifth one is liquid gas mixture. Here we can take carbon dioxide in soft drink, that is considered as liquid gas mixture. Sixth one is gas mixture. In this, air can be taken as an example. Natural gas can also be taken as example for or gaseous mixture. In this, we have studied about the pure substance, elements, compounds, impure substances, that is mixture, and we have studied the formation of mixtures. Thank you.